Well, it's high noon and we have a busy presentation, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start. Welcome everybody to the 2022 annual meeting of the Downtown Everett Association. I am Patrick Hall, the board president, and you probably all know that Everett City, Everett just went to city council districts, and partly as a result of that, we turned over 4 of our 7 city council seats. And in our 39 block downtown district, 38 of those blocks are now in Paula Ryan's district, and 1 block is in Mary Fosse's district. So we've decided to invite both of them to come here and introduce themselves to you today. So Paula, why don't you go first?
Great, thank you. Still one of my talking points. I'm just kidding. So my name is Paula Ryan. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today and introduce myself. I'm the newly elected city council member for District 2. And so District 2 includes the area over by the port through downtown and over to the train station, and then the neighborhoods just south of there. And it's like Patrick mentioned, 38 of the 39 blocks of the Downtown Everett Association is located right here in District 2. So I'm really grateful for the partnerships that the DEA has forged to work towards a downtown Everett that everyone can enjoy. And, you know, it's no secret that the city of Everett has had some budget challenges and had to cut a lot of programs in 2020. And some of those directly impacted the vitality of our downtown. And I'm really grateful for the ways that the DEA really stepped up to fill in and bringing forward a nonprofit arm of the organization, and also working towards designations that can help with grant funding, which supports our small businesses and encourages people to enjoy the downtown area. A community member once shared with me that one of the best public safety measures is a bustling and lively downtown. And I couldn't agree more with that. And was asked to be the chair of the Economic and Cultural Vitality Assignment Area for the city of Everett. So I'll be keeping a close focus this year on ways that I can support our small businesses, shepherding in new businesses to fill vacant storefronts, supporting our arts and music scene, and helping people feel safe. And there's just a long list of things that I see that we should be celebrating and be proud of here in Everett. And I'm really thankful to the DEA partnerships, donors, and volunteers that have helped make that list even longer. So thanks again for the chance to introduce myself today, and I look forward to the presentation. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Paula. Mary, are you on?
Hi, yes. Thanks for inviting me. Mary Fosse, new city council member for District 1. A lot of folks know me from being chair of the Delta Neighborhood Association for so long. And it's a lot of my background. I went to Whitman College and kind of focused on a lot of history and arts, but really kind of dove into a lot of event planning, and that's where some of my background comes from. I used to be the executive assistant and special events coordinator for Dale Chihuly before working at the legislature. So now I am working currently as a LA for Representative Emily Wicks. But the last decade or so, I've actually been a small business owner in Everett. I always had this plan back in the day to hopefully buy the little store on the corner of 19th there and turned it into a Everett made store. But I'm glad somebody's pursuing that kind of idea because it's much needed, because it is a very special town that we have here. Background wise, I did grow up in poverty, and so I have kind of a lot of that lived experience when it comes to homelessness. And I think that being on the public safety committee and being able to address some of those going forward is really kind of what some of my neighbors were looking for. I'm a huge fan of the DEA. I'm familiar with a little bit of the Main Street program through Patrick and his work on that. I apologize for missing the Heritage Caucus recently. It's just that's a really early in the morning meeting. When it comes to as far as priorities are concerned, I am on the chair of the planning committee, and I also serve on the Economic and Cultural Vitality Committee and the Public Safety Committee, and I'm the alternate for the Snohomish County Tomorrow. And I have also been assigned to be on the Cultural Arts Commission and the Historical Commission, and the Puget Sound Regional Council Growth Management Policy Board. So that kind of encompasses a lot of my passions with things, but I'm a huge advocate for a lively downtowns and arts and culture and buying local. And so I'm really, really proud to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Mary. And Paula, I'd like to apologize. I realized that I had my screen share up while you were talking and people couldn't see your face. So why don't you wave and say hi just so that you'll pop up and people can see what you look like.
Hello, here's my face.
Okay, thank you, Paula.
Yep.
So I'll go back to sharing. Okay, I assume, okay. Can everybody see that? Thumbs up? Okay. It's not, oh, there we go, okay. I would like to start by thanking our 2021 sponsors. So we've only been fundraising for about 2 years, and this list is quite a bit bigger than last year's. We had to make the font smaller, so I'm hoping we can make the font even smaller next year. You might notice that it doesn't say Downtown Everett Association, it says Downtown Everett Partners. The story there is that the DEA is a 501c6 nonprofit, which we legally have to be because we support businesses. And yet we wanted to be able to give our donors the tax advantages of a 501c3. So we formed this partner organization, which got approved by the IRS in 2021. We are now running our flower program, our holiday lighting program, and certain events like the Trick or Treat event out of the DEP. So thank you to everybody who donated. And there are still some huge benefits if you are a business or a municipality for giving to the DEA directly. So in 2021, the DEA became a designated Main Street community. And if you don't know what that is, it's an economic vitality program nationwide. I'll be talking more about that in a little bit. But in Washington State only, we have this unique benefit, a very generous benefit of a 75% tax credit. So what that means is that if you're a business and you give, say, $1,000 to the DEA, then the following year, you will get $750 back from the state of Washington on your B&O tax. It is a credit, not a deduction, so it's direct money back to you. And the same applies if you're a municipality who pays public utility tax. It works the same way. So one of the early adopters and an organization that recognized right off the bat the value of this program to our community was Coastal Community Bank, who decided to kickstart our Main Street program last year with, get this, a $145,000 donation. So that initial funding, that seed money sort of, is funding a lot of our work for the coming year. And there are also a growing number of other businesses who have recognized the value of this program. And I would like to ask you, if you're a business owner or a municipality, and to think about how much you give to the state of Washington every year on your B&O tax, and consider whether a big part of that money might be better spent on reinvested directly into your community. So if you'd like to participate in this, please talk to us afterwards. But I do want to also call out Heritage Bank, Funco, Narrative Coffee, KRKO, People's Bank, and 1812 for their tax credit donations this year. Thank you very much. And especially thank you to Coastal for your generosity, your trust in us as an organization, and the Main Street program, and in Downtown Everett. Thank you. So in 2021, we went through a strategic planning process, and we also updated our mission and vision statements. So I'm going to read these off because they're new. Our mission is: we champion Downtown Everett's community of businesses, residents, workers, and visitors by supporting economic vitality, promoting local experiences, cultivating a strong organizational network, and stewarding public spaces and historic places. You probably don't realize it, but I've just read off the 4 points of Main Street there that I'll be talking about in a little bit. And our new vision is that Everett's downtown core is a hub of public life in Snohomish County. Its energetic streets are home to an innovative business community, engaged residents, and delighted visitors who experience economic opportunity, a unique historic context, and a vibrant dining, arts, and entertainment culture. So let me introduce our board of directors. Starting from upper left, we have Barakat Abraha from People's Bank, Dan Eernissee from the city of Everett, Dan Gaffney from Moss Adams, myself, Lacey Harper with Snohomish County, Danielle Lothrop with Palgo's Bottle Shop, Corey Margolis from Angel of the Winds Arena, Kern McGee from Petite Engineering, Maxwell Mooney from Narrative Coffee, Paul Papelka, who's retired, Craig Scottdahl with Scottdahl Real Estate, Jordan Stevens with Anderson Hunter Law, and Erica Weir from Village Theater. They really bring a broad skill set to our organization, and thanks to all of you for your dedication to Downtown Everett. So what does the DEA do? There's three things that we do. We run the Downtown Improvement District, we do parking management, and we do revitalization. The DID, you may know it as its former name, the BIA, which has been around for quite a while. So the city assesses property owners in our 39 block district, our downtown district, and they contract us to run our clean team, which does everything from sidewalk cleaning, we blow leaves, garbage pickup, shopping cart return, cigarette butt removal, and graffiti removal. There's one of those in particular I want to call out, is the graffiti removal. Liz will give you some stats later, but we clean up literally thousands of graffiti tags every year. And you can only imagine what downtown would look like without this service that we're now running 7 days a week. And we've been doing this for 26 years. Although fairly recently, we have brought that service in-house and bought our own truck, and we've gained a lot of operational efficiencies by doing that. We also manage the Ever Park garage for the city. It's their garage, but we manage it. And any revenues that we earn from that get reinvested into our revitalization programs. We also advocate for better parking policies. And the newest part of our program is revitalization. So you could think of the DID, our clean team, as our defensive strategy, and revitalization as our offensive strategy. That's our proactive part of our organization. So we do everything from the small business support, our flower program, the holiday lighting program, the snowflakes you see on Colby, certain events like the trick or treat, Small Business Saturday, things like that, and some new ones that are coming up, parking advocacy, etc. So I've talked a bit about the Main Street program, but I'll tell you a little bit more about what that is and what that entails. It's a program that's been around for, I think, 42 years now. It's an economic development program that's designed specifically for older and historic downtowns like Everett. There are currently about 1,200 Main Street cities in, I think, 40 states in the US. And after working towards it for several years, we became an officially designated Main Street community on January 1st of 2021. And there are now 36 Main Street communities in Washington, not including affiliates. And it's based on something called the Main Street 4-point approach. So the Main Street approach is the points of economic vitality, design, promotion, and organization. It's designed to be a comprehensive strategy that you can't just do one of these things and expect to be successful. So the DEA has a committee that implements each one of these 4 points of Main Street. Economic vitality is about fostering entrepreneurship by supporting new and existing small businesses. Design is all about the physical infrastructure of downtown, like the flowers and the holiday lights. Promotion is about positioning downtown as the center of cultural and social life of the city. And they run events such as Trick or Treat and Small Business Saturday. And organization is all about things like volunteer engagement and fundraising and stuff like that. And so they work together to form a successful program. And this is also something that's new that came out of our strategic planning process. Main Street encourages every community to have its own unique, what they call the transformation strategy. This is designed to focus the efforts of our 4 points, of our 4 committees. And we have decided that for Downtown Everett, that we will cultivate and grow experiences in dining, entertainment, and the arts. So you can, when you think of the DEA from now on, don't just think of Downtown Everett Association, think of dining, entertainment, and the arts. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to our Executive Director, Liz Stenning.
Thank you, Patrick. Now it's my turn to try sharing my screen. All right, are you able to see that?
Nope.
Okay, one more try. Are you able to see that now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you everyone for being here. I'm Liz Stenning, Executive Director with the Downtown Everett Association. First, I would like to appreciate our staff. They are working every day on marketing, events, business support, cleaning our downtown, and managing the parking garage. I would also like to acknowledge our volunteers on our boards and committees. Our volunteers pitch in with events, planting, cleanup, advocacy, and none of this work that we're going to talk about that we've done or will be doing is possible without our staff and volunteers. So I would like to share some highlights from 2021 and let you know about some of the work we have coming up.
Liz, we're not seeing your slides. Oh, there we go. Okay, thanks.
Can you see that now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, as Patrick mentioned, we became a Main Street organization last year. As part of this work, in order to qualify as a Main Street organization, 50% or more of your buildings have to be 50 years or older. So through our application process and database tracking, we discovered that 83% of our buildings are over 50 years old, which is quite significant. We're also tracking our housing, businesses. We have nearly 1,200 housing units downtown, over 500 businesses. And because we now have this database and this baseline, each year we can now track what's happening downtown and provide updates. So far, so good with the slideshow? Okay. Our flower program, Patrick mentioned this before. Oh, I'm sorry, that is not a flower program. That is Cody with the Downtown Improvement District. So our clean team, we have a 5-person crew. They're out there every day cleaning 7 days a week. They start at 5 a.m. They're out there doing everything you can imagine, from cleaning graffiti, garbage removal, cigarette butts, returning shopping carts, etc. Our crew uses something called Fulcrum, which is an app they have on their phones, and they're able to track their statistics. So now we have stats going forward. So just last year alone, they removed nearly 2,000 graffiti tags, over 8,000 bags of garbage, over 100,000 cigarette butts, 200 shopping carts, and they literally take the shopping carts back to the stores. We also purchased a new leaf vacuum to help them be efficient. They do a lot more than just what's up here, but I thought this gives you a snapshot of what they're doing every day. The flower program, as you're aware, many of you are aware, the city faced some unfortunate budget cuts in 2020. And with that, we took over managing the flower program. So this is our second year. We've had some great success working with volunteers. Last year, we planted nearly 3,000 flowers in about over 250 pots. We added a block, which is, you're seeing this block, which is closest to the high school. We've had nearly 200 volunteers planting and maintaining. We actually rely on volunteers to maintain the plants all the way from May through September. We do have someone who's out there seasonally watering. However, we cannot do this without volunteers. So big shout out to all those volunteers out there. We also work to support our existing and new businesses. You know, 2021, as many of you are aware, has been challenging for businesses navigating the pandemic. Many have faced employee shortages, supply chain issues, closures, and just some fatigue. You know, at the same time, our businesses are very resilient, and they have been expanding their sidewalk cafes, expanding their products, improving websites, and even shifting their business model. Right now, I'd just like to recognize a few of the businesses that opened up in 2021, despite all these challenges. Chai Cupboard, Wicked Wine and Social Club, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Lucky Dime, Flying Pig, Rum Thai, and this is Tom with My Toy Store. Some businesses have expanded, they've moved locations or they've grown, Black Lab Gallery, Fast Signs. And this is a snapshot. Like I said before, we have a database, and we're trying our best to keep this up to date. So if any of you ever hear about businesses that are thinking about moving to Everett, we have a fairly good handle on potential spaces. We're happy to share this with potential businesses thinking about moving to a different part of downtown. We can also talk with them about options as well. In general, we just want to welcome our new businesses and track what's happening out there. Marketing promotion. Many of you know Madison and our promotions committee work really hard on marketing and promotions throughout the year. Last year, we launched 2 promotional videos. One video highlights the downtown, and another highlights doing business here. And we'll make sure to send these out if you haven't already seen them, along with some other links. Our website is going through an overhaul, and we plan to launch that soon to really promote the downtown. Our promotions committee developed a new downtown shopping guide, which we're going to be updating throughout the year. We've also launched a downtown gift card, thanks to one of our volunteers who's very familiar with this. Right now, the e-gift card is launched. We have over 30 businesses participating. So if you, let's say, purchase a $50 gift card, you can use it at all these businesses downtown. And this is the shopping, or the tote bag, which some of you are familiar with. We distributed over 1,000 of these tote bags to shoppers during the holidays. And we hear that they've made the rounds to Vienna, Germany, even Mexico. So these tote bags are getting around and spreading the word about Everett. Downtown events. Downtown Everett Association hosts some of our own events. We also partner with groups like Cruising to Colby, Everett Music Initiative, the City of Everett, to name a few, on their events. Some of the events that we've been working on this past year, Halloween. I was not here in 2019, but I heard about all the kids downtown, all the families. And of course, we weren't able to bring it back to that level. So we got creative, and we had a scavenger hunt. We had a skeleton decorating contest. We had over 25 businesses participating in that contest. And a shout out goes to Armstrong Barber for winning the People's Choice Award. We worked with our small businesses in the city of Everett on Wintertide with Small Business Saturday, and we had a tree lighting ceremony, and Santa made an appearance during the holiday market festivities. Holiday lights. So some of you have seen the holiday lights. They're up right now on Colby, and in fact, they will be staying up through February, which we're excited about, to keep some of that cheer and light downtown. This past year, we purchased additional snowflakes, and we could not have done this without your donations, plus the City of Everett's support. Some of you may know that there were lights years ago downtown, but since then, for various reasons, the street poles do not have power. So we worked with the City of Everett's Public Works Department, and they brought back power to these various street poles. Steve Sawyer and his team at Public Works Department did a fantastic job. In fact, Steve even created a special Santa light box so Santa could flip the switch on that Small Business Saturday. So huge thanks to the City of Everett, and we're hoping to add more lights in the future. Patrick mentioned the strategic plan. We were fortunate to work with Burke Consulting, and we had an advisory group of some of our downtown stakeholders. We created a strategic plan that guides our work for the next 3 to 5 years. We have a new mission, vision, statement, transformation strategy, and a whole set of work that we can turn to, so that each year when we create our annual work plans, we can turn to this strategic plan for guidance. So I'm just going to mention a few things about what we have cooking for 2022. This is not the whole list, but this is a snapshot of some of the things we're working on. Banners. There are banners downtown that the DEA created some years ago. You may not notice them because they're faded or they have fallen off and they're gone. We have a small team that's working on creating a new design for banners and working to figure out how to install banners. We've actually tracked every single light pole downtown to figure out where we can install them. Hope to bring them up sometime this winter and spring. We're also working with a consultant to host a storefront and interior workshop with our businesses, sponsored through the Everett Forward grant. And more details to come on that. That should be happening sometime in March. Our flower program is happening again. We have a tentative date of April 30th for the planting day. We're also exploring ways to bring hanging baskets back downtown. It may seem easy to put a hanging basket up on the light pole. However, there's a lot that goes into it with watering and maintenance. So we're looking to do a pilot program on a small area to see what it really entails. Our Economic Vitality Committee is working on a new business owners welcome kit that we hope to get off the ground soon, that we can welcome new businesses or even prospective businesses. We're working on launching a new website, and we have some of our staff is working with the city to do a major upgrade to the Everett Park Garage. Right now, it is not automated, meaning we take cash. The city of Everett is working to create an automated Everett Park Garage. So that'll be a big change when we're working alongside the city to figure out how that's going to be implemented. Like I said, holiday lighting, we want to add more lights. We just need the power. So we're working on figuring out how that is going to be possible. And we're looking to launch a spring sip and shop event with some of our merchants, as well as a summer event that may be a block party. So that's some of what we have stored in 2022. We're really excited about the year, and we'll continue to work hard to advocate and support our downtown businesses, property owners, and residents. And at this point, I would like to turn it over to Maxwell Mooney. Maxwell owns Narrative Coffee. He sits on our board of directors and our Economic Vitality Committee. Maxwell, in my opinion, is a huge champion of downtown, and we're very excited to have him here. So I'll end things and turn it over to Maxwell.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can share my screen here. Let's see. Can y'all see that? Everybody see my screen all right? Great.
Now we do.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. So I just kind of wanted to share a little bit about my kind of experience and perspectives working with small businesses and being a small business owner myself in downtown. For 2022, I think it's going to be a really exciting year. We've had, some pretty serious challenges over the last couple of years, but I think that this is going to be a really, really great year for small businesses in downtown, and for just the entire business community in downtown. A little bit about myself. My name is Maxwell. I own Narrative Coffee down on Wetmore Avenue, and I'm sitting in our second location in Bellingham right now, but we're really excited, and we really believe in Everett. It's an amazing city. The downtown community is really, really amazing and wonderful. There are so many high quality people in downtown. The community is super strong. So we really love it. We haven't been immune to the same challenges that everyone else has faced. We definitely relied on some PPP money to get us through, the worst of the pandemic, and we've felt the same sort of pains that everybody else has felt. So judging from my experience, I am very optimistic about the future of 2022. The last half, starting in kind of July of 2021 through the end, was record breaking for us, and has just had a really great trajectory. As kind of we've dealt with this latest wave, it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but for the most part, I think people are still really excited. They're ready to get back out into town and enjoy life again, and be kind of trying to live again. And I'm really hopeful based on previous pandemics that we've seen that we're coming to the end of this one here fairly soon. I'm not a public health professional, but I'm hopeful that like the Spanish flu pandemic in 1918, that we'll be on our fourth and final wave here, and that things will kind of get easier from here. Obviously it may not, but I know that we will pivot if that happens, because the community in downtown has exhibited so much creativity and just really brilliant business strategy and made things work. So I'm really, really excited about the future of downtown business, regardless of whatever the pandemic does, because I know that our crew down here will absolutely make it work. Okay, so downtown, I just talked about that. What I'm really excited about is we have a lot of new housing coming to downtown. As we know, the housing market in general is a little bit intense in our whole kind of region right now. And I'm really excited that we're making good progress on adding more housing in downtown. First and foremost is the Marquee Apartments, which just opened and added a number of units. I also, just as somebody who loves design and loves things that are made well, I'm really excited about these. There's kind of a film motif, if you can't see it, like these kind of the balconies kind of look like film. And then, you know, the marquee sign, and just, I think it's really well designed. I've heard a lot of people really enjoying these apartments so far. These are just right across the street from the Everett Performing Arts Center. And right on the other side of the block behind them is another set of apartments coming in called the Nimbus Apartments. And then across the street from them is another set of apartments coming in. So we're getting a lot more folks just calling downtown Everett home, which I'm really excited about, because I do genuinely believe that when people make investments in communities, we see positive impacts. And not only are these financial investments in town, but also the folks that are moving here will be investing in their downtown and you know, making an impact. And we'll see more and more volunteers helping out with flower programs and all those amazing things that help keep our city somewhere that's just really nice to be in. I just wanted to take a quick moment to say thank you. If you have volunteered to plant some flowers or keep up a flower pot, that work is so helpful. Or if you've donated to our Downtown Everett partners, so that way we could invest in more lighting and more events and those sorts of things. Thank you so much. Those really make a huge difference. And it makes our city just a lovely place to be in. You know, and that's kind of one of our big hopes, is that Everett is a place that you want to be in. So thank you so much. So lots of new housing coming in, which is really exciting, because that means we have more people coming into downtown and living in downtown, which means that new things will be continuing to happen. Now, Liz kind of mentioned a few of these things, but we have some new businesses that have come in 2021. We have My Toy Store, The Best Puzzles and Gifts, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Delicias Azteca. Got the Flying Pig and Wicked, which are both sort of like coming back to downtown Everett, but I'm counting them as new businesses. And then just outside of downtown, I think we'll count them, is Catalyst Cafe, which is an absolutely lovely cafe that serves great coffee and great pastries, and highly encourage you to go check them out. And then Lucky Dime, which is a new kind of art venue with art and shows, and they've hosted some really great events so far. They're right in the old Black Lab location. And as Liz mentioned, Black Lab has also actually moved down to the old Horseshoe Bar, which has been really great. So Hewitt's got a lot going on. Now, 2021 or 2022, I'm really excited for, because we have some new businesses coming in. I'm just going to kind of focus on a couple of them that I think are really exciting. The first one that I wanted to share is Petrichor Living. They're they call themselves a modern general. So they're kind of a general store that just has all sorts of goods that are helpful for daily life and gardening. So you can read a little bit about their this kind of blurb from Aaron. So Aaron and Scott are the two owners. They're a lovely couple, both partners in life and in business. And I'm really excited for the things that they're going to bring. Their building here, if you can see, they're taking over this old building on Rucker. And so this is kind of the before after their space got cleared out, and they just kind of chipped away all the flooring there and exposed the original wood floors, and they're refinishing those. And they've shared some 3D renderings with me, and they look really amazing. I think it's going to be a really, really great place to be in. You'll be able to find stuff that you can't normally find, like gardening equipment, shears, and they have like wax canvas lunch bags, all sorts of things that are just kind of like interesting that you would totally use, but you don't really have a great place to buy them in downtown Everett. They're going to really bring a lot to that, and I'm really, really excited for that. If you want to check out more about them, you can go to petrichorliving.com and check out their website, or you can find them on Instagram through petrichor_living, which is spelled with a K, so Petrikor. So Aaron and Scott are really wonderful. I think they're going to do a bang up job running their business. So I'm very excited and encouraged by that. Next is Artisans Books, Artisans Books and Coffee, and Artisans PNW. So they have taken over the Hodges building on the ground floor, and they're doing a really lovely job. Every time I come into work, I get to drive by, and it just looks more and more beautiful every day. The exterior of the building looks really nice. They've got these kind of, new windows that have gone in the whole building, and they've made a lot of investments on the interior of their space. So they have kind of two concepts that are working sort of in tandem. They have their books and coffee shop, and then they also have kind of a gift shop. So you can see a couple photos here, but this is kind of, you can see where they're headed with things here. This looks really great. It's got the classic brick, exposed beams, all the things that make Everett architecture really beautiful and special. I'm really excited about this. These folks are really nice, just amazing people. If you haven't had a chance to connect with them, EK comes in all the time, and I had absolutely wonderful conversations with them every single time they've been in. So here's kind of an idea of some of the gift shop things that they have. I believe that you can actually purchase some of these things now. They've had a little bit of delays in getting things going, but if you message them directly, you can purchase some stuff from them. They're still kind of working on their build out, but they hopefully are going to be done fairly soon. So I'm really excited about that. Overall, I think there's a really exciting year ahead for us. I think that with the kind of economic recovery coming back, obviously we still have some things to deal with. Inflation is on a lot of people's minds right now, but honestly, we haven't seen any major slowdowns for our side of things. So I'm generally pretty excited. I think that we're going to have a really great 2022 ahead of us. We're going to see businesses that have been located here that opened during the pandemic. I can think of a number of businesses that have opened since the pandemic started. I think they're going to actually find that this is going to be a great year for them. And then we're going to see new businesses coming in, supporting a lot of these new residents that are in downtown. And we're going to see a lot of new faces. So I'm excited. I would encourage you to, make sure that you're welcoming in new folks as you meet them, because we're going to have a lot of new people moving to downtown. Yeah, if you're able to help, if you're able to volunteer on any of our committees or help with any of our kind of events, we would absolutely love to partner with you. It would be so amazing to have your help in helping us kind of make downtown Everett a lovely place to be. So thanks so much. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it off, I believe, to Dan now. So it has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you, friends.
Okay, Maxwell, I think you can stop sharing.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Okay, yep. I guess I'll introduce Dan real quick. Dan Eernissee is the Economic Development Director for the City of Everett. You ready to go, Dan? Here we go. Thanks.
I am. Thank you, Patrick. And thank you, Maxwell, for such a great lead. I didn't coordinate my title with Maxwell, and I just changed it as we were speaking, actually, before he actually talked, because at first I was like 10 things I wanted to look forward to, but really this is more than that. This is really kind of a celebration, not only coming out of the pandemic, but just the things that are really notable that are happening in Everett that I just want to call everybody's attention to. If you've never experienced one of Dan's top 10 lists, and this is where I speak in third person, I welcome you. I'm assuming I'm sharing and you're seeing the top 10 things I plan to celebrate in 2022. I got some thumbs up. So let's start with number 10. Number 10, Boeing turns the corner. I think this is just critical for Everett, as while a lot of the conversation this morning will be specifically about downtown. I thought I'd start with some more broad Everett economy things. And of course, given that Boeing employs 30,000 of people in Everett, this has always got to be a key thing. And I think there's an article in the Seattle Times that came out about freighter jets that are built in Everett. The fact that Boeing owns 90% of the freighter jet market, and that for Everett to really thrive in the future, we've got to maintain the culture and the workforce and the kind of just the mojo to keep that going. And I just really think that this is going to be a great year for Boeing, and we're all going to look back on this year as, oh my gosh, we're so glad that 2021 is behind us, and 2022 really was a point where things looked better. Number 9, I'm going to continue. I'm planning to celebrate all the transformational companies that are coming to Everett. And I just listed a few of these but such different areas that Everett companies are working in, from electric and hydrogen aviation to cancer treatment, both, with TerraPower harvesting really exotic little isotopes that can be like little cruise missiles to go to individual cancer cells, to Seattle Genetics starting to invest in Everett, to pallet shelters, an Everett company that not only is building pallet shelters for Everett, but all over the world. They're looking for a new warehouse because they're growing so quickly. And then, of course, my personal favorite in the picture here is of Helion's fusion reactor. If we can figure out how to make clean, cheap power out of water, we'll be pretty dang special here in Everett. And I think Helion has a chance to be the first one to really unlock that. Number 8, Rethink Housing Initiative. We've been going through, as Maxwell stated, as a region, some housing crunches. I won't even try to describe that, but what we need to do in Everett is to grow our housing stock, but do it in an intelligent way, in a way that is sensitive to both those who are have to build the product as well as those who live in it. And that implies all kinds of affordability issue, all kinds of land availability issues, and all kinds of, I guess, just civil discussion between us, because we're not all going to agree that there's one clearly obvious way to go forward. But you can see how housing production has grown over the years. And especially in the last few years, housing production has grown pretty dramatically. And frankly, to meet the growth that we anticipate, this is the kind of curve that we need to see continued. Number 7, one of the things that the American Rescue Plan is hopefully going to help fund is a whole suite of business services and online business services that the city can have for not only downtown businesses, but all over city of Everett businesses. Downtown businesses have a luxury of having an association, of having a network of professionals who help them. Not all parts of the city are so lucky, and we need to be providing great services to not only businesses in other parts of town, but diverse businesses, maybe business owners who don't speak English as their first language, and to home occupation businesses. All these are important elements of our business community that we need to be reaching out to creatively and as inexpensively as possible, because there's about 10,000 of them. And so it's not a simple thing to just say, yeah, go knock on doors. This is going to be a challenge, and I'll look forward to working with the DEA as we move forward. Number 6, the launch of the Everett Point Industrial Center. One of the Kimberly-Clark leftover mill sites is on the Snohomish River. The Everett Utilities own about 64 acres of about the roughly 110 acre kind of little, I don't know if you call it a peninsula out in the river, but it's kind of like a little peninsula. Can't get there right now except over railroad tracks, and so we need to build a bridge over the Everett Avenue, very similar to the one that we built on Everett Avenue going down to the port, but on the other end. And this will unlock a lot of different things, and this is what the council has decided will be at the north end, a good place for our new Public Works Service Center. But there's probably going to be a lot of surplus land there that we can create this epic job center. And then also this unlocks the land that the Public Works Service Center is right now, which is so suited for transit-oriented development in the future with light rail and the Everett Station right in the near proximity. Number 5, I think we're all looking forward to the Waterfront Place progress. I mean, it's just such an exciting thing to see, Pacific Ice spring up kind of out of nowhere over the winter, and all the fun activity. I can't wait to actually run through the splash park when it actually is functional in the summer. So I think the port has just been doing a great job of reimagining the lifestyle component of the port. That's not even to mention the whole job side, what they're doing. They're doing great stuff, and the Port of Everett's doing fantastic, but you know, nothing like a bakery down by the water. Number 4, Everett Station rebirth. That bakery that I just mentioned that's going to be down by the water is already in the Everett Station. You might not have visited recently because frankly, a lot of people haven't visited Everett Station in a while because the pandemic really hit transit ridership. But a lot of people don't know that Diedrich Coffee moved in there. They recruited South Fork Bakery to be kind of co-tenants. We just signed a lease with Bezos Academy last week, and we hope this fall to welcome 63, 4, 5-year-olds to preschool there, and it will be a free tuition preschool. And I think you get where I'm thinking the Everett Station is going. Lots of lively activity, lots of activation, lots of things for the community. It's such a beautiful building. I love that building, and I'm looking forward to seeing it really have a renaissance in its second 20 years of life. Believe it or not, number 3, Sound Transit is going to issue its preferred alternative for the route and the station location for downtown Everett this year. It sounds unbelievable, but they've on their schedule, at least they're shooting for right at the end of the year to have that designed. So even though construction is a long way in the future, the design is all important to what happens in and around that. And it's very exciting to be part of the conversations as a city, and the DEA has actually participated with that. And that's one of those things the DEA can do at a level that really gets listened to, and your people can weigh in from a business perspective in a way that the city just can't. You know, we can weigh in as a city, but the DEA is really making its voice heard, and that's fantastic. Number 2, I'm working closely with Tyler Chisholm and others to really encourage them in their efforts, and as others, I didn't even mention the DEA and Tyler Chisholm and Cultural Arts to craft this season of events. And so it's not just like the event season in Everett starts in, July 4th and runs to, Labor Day, but it gets spread out throughout the entire season. And so we're looking at the Went Arts Awards being a critical part. We've delayed them this year until May just to because of the pandemic, but that'll be happening. The Sort of Culture has moved downtown from Legion Park. Halloween, of course, is going to do nothing but grow spookier and scarier, which is awesome. And of course, Wintertide has gone from a one-day event to a whole month of activities. And the DEA has been such a great partner to expand that and to grow that, to invest in the lighting. I got so many great comments from people and so many thanks from people for the DEA's participation, not only in the lights in the winter, but the flowers in the spring and summer. So you can see how Everett downtown will be a place to go. And so the final thing I really think we're going to experience is just very active downtown sidewalks in 2022. We're going to look back and say, wow, remember when during the pandemic, there just seemed like there was nobody on the sidewalks, as people were away from work and working remotely, and there wasn't that much activity. Well, we're going to welcome a new renovated Imagine Children's Museum this spring. We hope that Corey Margolis has been bragging about the new schedule for the arena. Village Theater is back. The Shack Art Center is back. And these are just our anchors. And of course, Funko just keeps on having lines, and we're seeing more like food trucks pop up and all these different events along with our planned seasonal events. So I just think it's going to be very active. And mentioned before, but the city will be investing more specifically in parking alternatives for all these visitors. Specific first step, Everett Park garage automation. Second step, paid on-street parking, and hopefully we can all have a little memorial service for the 90-minute rule that is currently in place, and say goodbye to it sooner rather than later. So anyway, those are the 10 things that I plan to celebrate. I hope you have some additional things on top of that, but you'll join me with those. And thank you for the opportunity to share my list this year.
Okay, I guess it's back to you, Liz.
Thank you, Maxwell and Dan. That was fantastic. Here we go, round robin with sharing screens. So the last thing we would like to do is recognize a volunteer of the year. And I'll say last year was the first year that we did this. We recognized Paul Popelka for his efforts, particularly around the starting the flower program. And so if I'm successful here, I will reveal our volunteer of the year in 2022. And here we go, screen share, drum roll, share.
Mute's off.
Okay, can anyone see the image here?
Oh yeah, Danielle.
Yeah, okay. So Danielle actually is not here with us today, but she is our volunteer of the year. She's volunteered over 50 hours. That's just what we have recorded. I'm sure there's more. She is one of our board members. She owns Toggle's Bottle Shop with her husband. She runs Everett Beer Week. She's an alumni board member with the UW Bothell School of Business. And we want to recognize Danielle for a couple things. She's been chairing our promotions committee for the last some years, and she's stepping off of that committee, but she's really shown what a committee can do, and she's brought a lot of energy and organization to that committee, and we're just so thankful for that. And part of that, she really pushed us to create these downtown promotional videos, and I'll say we couldn't have done that without her. She had that expertise, and she'd done this before, and we're just so appreciative of that work she did behind the scenes. And if she were here, we'd be thanking her in person, but just want to give her a shout out. And I think Patrick's going to take over from here to conclude.
Hi, I guess Danielle's not on the call, but we will track her down. Under her leadership, the promotion committee has thrived. And one of the things I appreciate most about that is that they're a very independent committee. They don't need a lot of handholding. They just go off and do amazing things by themselves. And we have a little something to give to Danielle. I think you can see that we are going to present her in person when we hunt her down. So thank you very much, Danielle. And I guess that concludes our presentation. I guess everybody was very efficient on their time today. I did want to add that Madison will be sending all of you an email that has links to a variety of materials, including our slides from the presentation today, our strategic plan, information about the Main Street tax credit, information about the IFTI gift card, our 2022 work plan. And did I miss anything else there, Madison?
I'll throw in some links to some of the new businesses and upcoming businesses as well, just because.
Oh, and some, I'm sorry, there's a fun video from Washington Main Street as well.
As well.
Yeah. Okay.
I can say that Danielle, she was on the call, and she heard this. She just can't answer right now, and she's very thankful and says, give us her appreciation.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad she was here for the big reveal. Well, thanks to all of our presenters, and thanks to all of you attendees. Thanks to everybody who volunteers or donates to the Downtown Everett Association. Thanks for all of your dedication to your community. And thanks for participating. And here's to a good 2022.